Hello and welcome. My name is Z. Today I thought it'd be cool to go over the top 5 comics that I personally think that you should be reading if you're currently not reading them right now. So right here before me I have 5 comics that I picked out, and I'll be going over them. No particular order for like best to worst, but just comics that I think are pretty good reads. I like the way the story is going, and I think that they're a good pickup if you haven't picked them up yet. So make sure you stick around to the end, and if you can, please leave a like, leave a comment down below letting me know what comics you're reading, what comics you recommend reading, and definitely subscribe if you can. I'm trying to grow this channel, and it will really help if I get some supporters out there. So without further ado, I'm going to start with, we'll go DC's versus Vampires. Now the reason I like this story is, I mean, there's a lot going on, and I'm going to try to do this as spoiler free as possible. But in the story, you basically have vampires that have been, we'll say, living in the shadows for quite some time. And their leader has been making sure that humans and vampires coexist in peace and harmony. Well, that leader has been assassinated. So now the vampires are going through and they're turning everybody. And now it's to a point where you can't trust anyone because you don't know if they're a vampire. So I'm not going to spoil who's the first person from, like, let's say the Justice League to be turned, but it is definitely going downhill. I mean, there's been quite a few deaths of some very notable heroes that you'd be surprised that they actually killed those characters off. But then you also have like some pretty funny scenes as well. They're very well written, where I can kind of talk about this. But Batman gets his whole team there. So you're talking Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, like all of them together. And, you know, he's telling them a little bit what's going on. He can't necessarily trust them. And it's pretty funny because they're wondering, why are they doing their meeting in broad daylight at that particular time? Like, everything was just kind of weird. And then Batman ends up saying, like, yeah, by the way, you know, the tea that you drank, the cocoa you had, it was all made with holy water. So if you were vampires, you would be dead right now. And then he also tells them, like, yeah, we did it in broad daylight because if you were a vampire, you wouldn't have came. Just a whole bunch of stuff that Batman was testing his team with, so it was pretty good, very well written, like I said. So that's definitely a pickup if you haven't. It's not too far along right now too. I think there are a total of maybe 4 to 5 issues. This is issue number 3, but definitely give this a read, man. It's really fun. The next one on my list, I would have to say, is Silver Surfer Rebirth. Now, this one is only on the first issue. So I know it's kind of almost biased to be like, yo, this is my top recommended, but just where the story started and where the first issue ended was just so well written, well executed, in my opinion. You can kind of find the synopsis of what the story is about. I mean, pretty much somebody's in control of the Reality Stone, and Silver Surfer ends up having to team up with Thanos. So basically at the end of the issue, Thanos shows up and is like, yo, you know, we have to kind of work together and do stuff. So just the first issue to work off of. So not much there, but just the way the story was executed in this first issue is definitely going to be one of those ones that you just really want to read. And because it's only on the first issue, it should be pretty easy to pick up and not be lost on where everything is. So that's another really good one there. This is also the one of the variant issues for the comic. So really easy to pick up, easy to find, and a good read, and it's going to get even better. I know it will, because this first issue was definitely well written. And so that's a pretty short one because there's not much to go off of. But the next one that I would have to say is a recommended read is definitely Son of Kal-El. Obviously, you have a lot of controversy, a lot of mixed feelings about the about this series right now, but I've been enjoying it. So I've been enjoying just kind of seeing how Jonathan Kent's character differs from his father's, seeing some of the changes that he implements to the character of Superman, and right now it's definitely starting to turn up. You have the reveal of like kind of like the metahumans that are going to be like Superman's opposition, and it's not a lot so far, but there's some pretty interesting ones. Superman's what is that guy's name? Whoever his love interest is, I forget his name. It starts with an N, but him, he's a pretty unique character too. He was a metahuman who was experimented on. He has his own like kind of like truth channel, which is like this vlog thing that he does, trying to expose the truth about, you know, corrupt politics and things like that. So that aspect is cool. So I mean, really the story's good. It's been building up pretty well. It's not like super fast paced. It starts off kind of slow, but it's building in a very good way, in my opinion. Like, I think the pacing of the story is really good. This is on issue number 7. Issue number 8 might have came out already. I'm not sure, but it's pretty easy to get a hold of. So pretty easy to read. Also, I don't think you don't have to read like 16 other issues or series to understand what's going on in this one. So I would definitely recommend picking that one up. I've enjoyed it thus far. The next one that I will talk about is actually She-Hulk. And this is kind of interesting because I'm not a She-Hulk fan at all. I practically don't know anything about the character aside from she's like a Hulk female, you know. But I decided to pick this up. You know, the She-Hulk series is coming out, so I figured I'd pick this up and, you know, just kind of follow the character along, see what it's about. And this story is written so well. Like, the story is it feels so genuine when you read it. So basically the story is She-Hulk, which I forget her human side name, unfortunately, but she's basically trying to get her life back together. She's no longer like savage, and she has control over, you know, that Hulk form. So she's trying to get her life back together, and the things that are happening to her are just so genuine and so well written. Like, it was just enjoyable as I was reading it. And there's kind of like this funny exchange between the She-Hulk character and like one of her enemies who she's fought before, and they're just fighting, you know. Pretty much the enemy lady just comes up and she's mad, so she just starts trying to swing on She-Hulk, and She-Hulk's transforms, you know, and now they're kind of fighting, and she's telling her like, yeah, this is my only dress. And as they're fighting, they're kind of talking, they're almost venting to each other, and it's really genuine the way it's written. And basically She-Hulk gets the best of her, but she ends up saying like, you know, let's not fight, let's not do this to the point where we break each other. Let's just meet up here and there. We'll throw hands, we'll blow off some steam, and, you know, we'll keep it moving. Like, so it was really interesting that like someone who was her enemy in the past is now kind of like this mutual friend who, you know, they're gonna basically use each other to blow off steam. And it's just definitely well written. Like, I'm definitely hyped for the next issue, which I'm thinking at this point it's probably out. I just have to get down to the comic shop and, you know, get my pulls. But definitely a read. Out of all these, this might be one of my favorites, just because the way it's written. It's just really good, really entertaining. And that's only issue 1, so easy to pick up. You only have like 1 to 2 issues to buy, and you can start reading and enjoying it. And the very last comic I will recommend is Hulk. Now, Hulk is this one. Let me see, how do I want to put it? It's like, it's fast. It's not even fast paced. It's well paced. I would say that. It's well paced. But right now we're only maybe 4 issues in at the time of this video. This is issue number 3. But you have Bruce Banner, who essentially is the Hulk's form is there. So he's the big green guy, but the mind is actually Bruce Banner. And Bruce is essentially using the Hulk just like a ship, like a star cruiser, if you will. He's piloting the Hulk's body. And if you see the metal or the technology that the Hulk is wearing, that's what he's using to essentially control the Hulk and pilot him like a star cruiser. And he has him locked in what he calls the engine room. So basically, the Hulk's mind, the raging part of him, is locked away in this place, and different things are happening that Bruce Banner's controlling to fuel the Hulk, right? So, for example, he may make an army appear in there, and the Hulk has to like fight this army, and he's getting madder. So the madder he gets, the stronger the starship gets for Banner, and he can just keep him in this form forever by constantly doing that. He never has to go back to the Banner form. So, and then he ends up basically, I'm pretty sure there's like either a wormhole jump into another dimension. I don't think it's a time jump. So I think it's like some type of like dimensional jump, and he runs into another Bruce Banner who's not a Hulk. So in this reality, that Bruce Banner, I'm pretty sure he's not a Hulk, but he's a scientist who is essentially, if I can remember, his job is to like kill any Hulks that he finds. So there's more Hulks than this. There's like a bunch of Hulks. It's some kind of almost disease or something like that. And his job is to essentially kill them or something like that. But the two Bruces meet, and he's like, I've never met one that's, not deranged or crazy or raging. So, but so far the story is pretty good. Very enjoyable, well written, well paced. Definitely pick it up. All these are pretty easy to read. I think the hardest one on this list is Son of Kal-El, just because it's about 7-8 issues in. But everything else, 3 to 4 issues top, very easy to pick up and read, and they're all very enjoyable. So with that being said, I just wanted to make this video just to get back out there, just to connect with you guys, and also make some recommendations on comics that I've been enjoying reading, and figured, let me let you guys know that these are some comics you should pick up. Now, there is one more that I'll mention, kind of a special mention, and I have to, because if you've been following me, then you know my favorite read is Thor, and I always got a Thor book very close by. Thor is the best read for me, obviously. The reason it's not on my recommended list is because it's so difficult to get into. I mean, right now it's about 21 issues in. You kind of would want to read all the way back into the Jane Foster Thor just about, and maybe even before that. So you've had to really be following Thor for a few years in order to fully understand what's going on. But if you have the ability to go back, find everything you need to read. So Jason Aaron's run on Thor, starting with God of Thunder, going into Jason Aaron's run with Jane Foster Thor, all the way to the transition of Donny Cates' run on Thor, which is this current one. If you can do that, it's worth the read. You will not be disappointed reading Thor. Best comics always, definitely Thor fan. But if you're willing to do all that to find, all those issues, or even if you can find collections, definitely read that. That's just a bonus mention right there. I had to mention my favorite character. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you did, remember, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys on the next one. I appreciate you sticking around. Thank you.